On the Module 6 quiz, we had a problem very similar to this one, and I wanted to go back and work through it and make sure that everyone has an understanding of this problem. Determine the measure of the interior angle at vertex A. You see we have a polygon, and here's vertex A. To determine the measure of angle, or vertex A, the angle at the vertex, we first need to count the number of sides of this polygon. If you count the sides, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6-sided polygon, known as a hexagon. Now remember your formula. The formula to determine the measure of the interior angles of all the interior angles, the formula that you use is n minus 2 times 180. This will give you the sum of the measure of all interior angles. So that's the first thing we need to do, is determine the sum of all the angles added together. Well, n equals to 6. If you have a 6-sided polygon, n is 6. So plugging it into the formula, you would have 6 minus 2 times 180. 6 minus 2 is 4 times 180. And 4 times 180, if you punch it in your calculator, is 720. So we know that all 6 of these angles added together equals to 720. Therefore, we can write an equation. Let's take each angle's representation. I'm going to add, starting with 11x plus 11x plus 11x plus 11x plus the last 2 or 2x. I'll add all of those together and set them equal to my total of 720. Okay? Adding all these together, 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 would be 44. Plus 4 would give me 48x equals to 720. Next, we will want to divide both sides by 48. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. Then you have 720 divided by 48 gives me x equals to 15. Now that's x. That's the value of x. We have been asked to determine the measure of the interior angle at vertex A. I'm looking for this angle's measure. Well, we know that angle A is equal to 11x. But to determine the angle measure, we will replace the x that we found to be 15. We will multiply 11 times 15 to give me the actual measure of angle A. So if you multiply 15 times 11, you end up with angle A equaling 165 degrees. That will be your final answer. So again, you have to determine the measure of all 6 angles added together by using the formula n minus 2 times 180. Plugging in n is 6 because I have 6 sides, 6 angles. So 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 times 180 is 720. Therefore, all these angles add up to give you 720. The sum of the measure of all 6 of the angles add up to 120. So you add up all the 11x's and the 2x's. Gives you 48x equals to 720. Divide both sides by 48, x equals to 15. But 15 is not your answer. You have been asked to determine the measure of angle A. Therefore, we must say 11 times x. Our 11 is times x, and x is 15. So I have 11 times 15 is 165 degrees. So angle A is 165.